I'm going to walk you through why I believe that James Smith is wrong about sales calls. Why would you remove something that's so powerful? Where I had to be good was squeezing the juice from the followers I did have. If he ever watches this, he might be annoyed that I'm saying this. You've probably got the time at this point in your career. Doing the sales calls is going to close more deals than not doing sales calls. Just because it's against your life design, is that a reason to tell people that it doesn't work or they shouldn't do sales calls? Removing a sales process just doesn't make sense to me. He's got so much power in the fitness industry where people listen to him and look up to him, and I just think he's going to hurt. Alright guys, welcome back to another YouTube video with Work-Life Unbalanced. Now today I'm going to walk you through why I believe that James Smith is wrong about sales calls.
And we can fight about it, we can argue. But to me, I will never get on a sales call.
Just to be clear, James Smith believes that you should not do sales calls if you run a service business online and you attract clients through social media. They go to your landing page or whichever way they become a lead, and then he doesn't want you to do sales calls to convert them. They should just hit a landing page and they should be converted either through your email marketing, which then leads to a landing page they buy. He wants them going straight to a page and then just buying from you straight, right?
So I've never done a sales call for my mentorship, done millions of dollars. Never done a sales call for my coaching app, done millions of dollars.
Now, I want to say, first of all, James Smith is incredibly successful. I've looked up to him for years because I came through the fitness industry myself. That's how I first knew of him. Probably followed him all the way back in like 2016, 2017, really early days. And seen him rise up, be incredibly successful with his books and in the fitness industry. And then transition over to business coaching. He's also got Newtonic. I think he's the majority shareholder. He owns like 40% in Newtonic. And he is a crazy entrepreneur, right? Really good at what he does. And obviously very, very skilled in the area of social media and converting that traffic into buyers. So he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's talking about. So when I disagree with this, right, it's purely coming from my experience, my background over the last 10 years, also being online. I haven't cracked the code with organic, scaling my followers and audience up. So definitely would never challenge him on anything to do with that, right? However, where I had to be good was squeezing the juice from the followers I did have, from the organic audience I had built. And we didn't use paid ads. So I squeezed as much as I possibly could out of every single person that could potentially buy from me. And I did that I've tried everything. I've sold low-ticket products, I've sold eBooks, I've sold everything you can imagine, some straight to a landing page and straight to a sale. What I found was, from doing online coaching, scaling it up with PB Academy, we scaled to over 250 plus active clients, paying us over £200 per month. So we did very well, and we built a team. We built part of a sales team as well, and I was doing the calls. And I can tell you for a fact that doing the sales calls is going to close more deals than not doing sales calls. So I listened to his YouTube video because I've heard him say this multiple times, and I wanted to really understand what he meant when he says he doesn't believe in sales calls. And the two reasons I saw and picked up from this YouTube video, you can go watch it, it's just been put out. Number one, not against his life design. So if I write these things down, right, it's not against his life design. So that's the first thing, which I totally agree with. If you want to build a business, and which is what he's very good at, right? He's built a business to build the life he wants, which is what we're all aspiring to do. We all want, really, financial freedom. We want location freedom for a lot of people, especially where they get into the online coaching space. So why would you then want to become a salesperson within your business, which is what I did become, right? So I did become that because I was building a team that then relied on me, and I was scaling my sales calls up because we had so many leads coming through that I had so many sales calls to take to sell them to actually become clients, right? So I understand that completely. It's against his life design. But I would challenge him on this and say, just because it's against your life design, is that a reason to tell people that it doesn't work or they shouldn't do sales calls? Because there's one key thing that I'm going to mention in this video that he has that not everyone does have, as much as we all try. So life design, fair point, but it's not a fair challenge to say that the thing itself does not work. So just because you don't like it within your life design, does that mean that the task itself doesn't work? The tool to convert people doesn't work? No. And I believe it obviously will create a lot more sales than not having that process in place. The second thing he mentioned when he was talking to the person that asked the question about sales calls was that he didn't really like the idea of people going through a process where you're not telling them the price at the start. And all of that information that you do cover on a sales call could be potentially just on a landing page. So he doesn't like the process. He said it could, let's just put, could be on landing page. Yeah, so that's landing page. Which again, I agree, right? But one of the biggest things I preach is that you shouldn't display the price. And this is what the woman said, actually, because she's been told the same advice. You shouldn't say the price of your services before you've had a chance to display the value. And as much as you can build the best landing pages in the world, and this is something I obsess over, something I'm passionate about. I've obsessed over funnels, landing pages, copy, VSLs, everything you need to convert someone online and go through that process. Email sequences, email nurturing, everything like that. Totally understand it. Passionate about it. Understand why it works and why it's important. But if you just display all this on a landing page and you compare it to a product that he'd bought, right? He'd invested, I think it was like $4,000, $7,000. It was something like that, into a mattress that he bought, or a bed to help him sleep better. And he just bought it straight on an order page where it was on a website, and he just bought it straight away. Now, he is a very rare individual for doing that, first of all, because for that type of money, for most people, it's a lot of money. And they would usually want to go touch, feel, understand what this is about. But they've obviously been very successful online. They made a lot of sales, that company. I'm not sure who they are exactly. But of course, there are going to be people that are going to go and buy that straight away. However, that's a product. It's not a service. And what a lot of coaches are selling, especially his audience, which is primarily fitness coaches, I can imagine, any sort of coaching service, usually they're signing up to work with you. Which is why with your organic, right? Which is, I need to draw this out anyway. So you've got the funnel, yeah, so you've seen this before, and this is where your traffic comes through. Now this is where James Smith has the upper hand on all of us. And as much as we do try, and I believe obviously a lot of you may be watching this are doing really well, and there are going to be people that do build a massive audience online. They crack the code with how to post, and he's cracked the code 100%. He knows what he's doing. He's successful in different audiences. He's done it in fitness. He's doing it now in business. He knows what he's doing with this game, right? So he can create like millions, literally millions, potentially billions of eyeballs coming through here. And this is the start of the funnel. This is where you get your leads through. So this then becomes leads. And then this is what I want to talk about. This is where we get to the sales, where you get to new clients, right? And we all want to get to this point because this means money, or dollars for American people watching this, right? I don't even know how to do a dollar sign. So he's got the upper hand because he's got almost an unlimited amount of eyeballs and people watching him. So he can afford to not have the best, and he might, if he ever watches this, he might be annoyed that I'm saying this, but he may not have the best processes or need the best processes in here because, number one, it's not against his life design. He doesn't want a sales team. He doesn't want to do sales calls. And secondly, yes, he could just stick it on a landing page because this process, right, how you get leads, you first of all, to actually get to leads, you need a landing page, right? So a landing page, I'll put page there. So he's got the traffic from social media. So at the top, you've got socials, whether it's through, he doesn't really need paid ads because he's cracked the organic code. So they come through the funnel here. He's got potentially billions of viewers over the years, and they hit his links. They hit his landing pages. He's just released a course on lead magnets. He understands that game inside out. He knows how to put free products out there to collect emails, collect information, and then nurture them so they become a lead. He then nurtures them through this process. He nurtures them so well that obviously a large percentage of them convert into sales anyway without the need for sales calls. But the difference is, and you need to realize why you need to do sales calls, is because you may not even be getting 1 million views. You may not be getting, 1 billion views, 1 million views. You might even not even be getting 1,000 views, right? If you're not, then you're probably doing something really wrong and you need to fix that part first. But I would argue that most people, let's say if you're doing pretty well, you're being consistent, you're probably cracking between 50 to 100,000, maybe 200,000 views a month. And that's maybe on average. I'm just guessing, right? So with those people coming through, and then, a large majority of that won't even be followers, won't even be consistent watchers of you. But the amount of people that you get to then convert through whatever process you use to get them into becoming a lead, it's a much smaller number. So now out of those people, you still need to do everything he's talking about. You need to put out good information. You need to put great offers out there. You need to have good copy on your landing pages. You need to do all these things right just to get them to convert to the next step, which I would say is where you book a call, right? And if this is a service where you are genuinely, for most people, they're solopreneurs, meaning they're the only person in their business. So you need to be having that first touch with the person anyway, because usually with a coaching service, you are having a lot of contact, whether it's through communication, you're selling accountability, you're probably going to be actually either on the phone, or the way we were doing check-ins is we would be doing video responses to them either every week or every other week through a full customized tailored program, right? And we were very successful. We have a lot of results, thousands of reviews, testimonials. We got everything to back that up. And we've got another business, which is a gym locally as well, and that's doing the same thing. I can tell you for a fact, this here, if you remove this, there's so many things that's going to go wrong. So the amount of people that are leads that potentially want to work with you, they need to have that conversation with you first. They're not just going to pay for a service, especially at the price point that you could sell at just by having a call. If you're selling a really low ticket, like a coaching service, then yes, you can convert them maybe 30, 40 quid a month, and they're still going to convert at a good rate. That's what I'm talking about, having high conversion rates. But once you have the price point and you're challenging a little bit higher and you're valuing your time and your worth, and maybe it's £200 a month, £250, £300 a month, then having that sales call is going to increase the conversion rate and the close rate way, way, way higher. Not because you're being a salesy tactician, objection handling on the calls. I'm not talking about that stuff, because that's one of his fears, or one of the negatives. He says, you hold back the price and then you drop it on them and then you like push them over the line. That's not what happens most of the time. What happens is you really have the consultation on that first call. You understand exactly what their problems are. You place your service as the solution. If you've got like a welcome pack VSL, which is what we had, which was a full presentation, explain the service. So we didn't even need to do that on the calls. So calls times were literally cut down to like 15-minute calls anyway. So the other option that he talks about is like closing in the DMs. So if you close, he doesn't talk about that actually, but I hear other people talking about that because he doesn't like that. It doesn't make sense. But closing in the DMs can happen. But I find, number one, DMs are like where the worst distractions are. They're on social media. They can easily skip off and get caught in the doom scroll. But secondly, the other thing with that is the time it takes you to go back and forth and have a full conversation to actually get someone ready to actually buy with you and literally press that link and pay straight away. You're going to do it in a much quicker time, just organising a time where you can both get on a call, speak to them, no distractions, and go through everything properly and display the value. And before you drop the price, you've really amplified the value that you deliver with that service. Because most people as well, a lot of people that are scared to take that risk, that commitment. You're maybe not speaking to entrepreneurs or business people where they understand risk is what's needed before they make a change. It's not that most people can't afford it a lot of the time. They're spending the typical, branded sweets and stuff in their shopping every single week that adds up a lot. It could be takeaways or meals out. There's so much stuff where there's wasted expenses for most people that when you just display that to them quickly, it can make them realize that by doing this, they're still not going to be worse off. They're actually going to be in a similar position financially. So it might seem like a lot now, investing £250, £300 a month, but realistically, when you boil things down, because your lifestyle is being cleaned up, your expenses are going to be cleaned up. And then once you're done, you're going to save all that money back anyway. So I would say, just from my experience, I've done over 1,000 sales calls in the last 24 months. We have a very high close rate because we have a very good system anyway. So it is more of a consultation call, an authentic conversation rather than a sales objection handling call. But I would say 100%, you've probably got the time. At this point in your career, you've probably got the time anyway. So why would you remove something that's so powerful when you've got the time and you need clients, you want to take on more clients. I just think for the sake of 15 minutes, like that's what we're talking about, why wouldn't you have that process in place? And yes, maybe later on when you want to redesign your life, maybe listen to what he's talking about and build up your authority, build up your results, build up your reputation. And when you do that, yes, you can start to number one, you'll get more eyeballs, more referrals, more word of mouth. And then if you really hate sales calls, you want a better life where you're not booked in for calls and you just have total freedom to work whenever you want, yes, you can remove them, but you need enough of people, eyeballs at the start of your funnel coming through for you to afford the luxury of removing processes that are extremely powerful, like a sales call. So that's my opinion on it. That's why I do feel strongly about it. And I understand if you're a service business owner, if you're a coach, consultant, agency owner, and you want to get more people booked into your service over the line, especially for a higher price point, removing a sales process just doesn't make sense to me. Unless, like him, you're a marketing genius and you cover absolutely everything and you make people realize you're the only person that can solve their problem and they're going to buy with you anyway. So don't remove sales calls unless you are an online wizard when it comes to organic content. But I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand that the reason I'm breaking this down for you. And I think the danger that comes with people like James Smith saying these types of statements without really backing it up or seeing a different perspective in a debate is because he's got so much power. He's got so much power in the fitness industry where people listen to him and look up to him. And I just think he's going to hurt more people. But with just this advice, a lot of his other stuff is exceptional. And like I said, I respect everything he's doing and trying to do, but I do think this one is up for debate, and that's why I wanted to make a video about it. Hopefully it helps. Obviously this channel is all about scaling and growing a service business online. We're doing it alongside with you, so yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe if you like it and you're trying to grow a service business, and yeah, I'll see you soon.